Is Good falling off? Have they recovered since losing Micah and Grant? That and much more in this video, where we are going to look at the September YouTube analytics among some of the top YouTube golf channels and present all that information to you. I'm Dougie, this is the Golf Clan. If you are new to the channel, if you haven't yet subscribed, it's free. Go ahead, hit that red subscribe button, turn it gray. That would mean a lot to me. I spent a lot of time putting together the data in this video. There's going to be graphs, there's going to be numbers. This is an intense video. So I just say that because if you're listening to this video on YouTube but you're not viewing it, I would highly encourage you to view the video so that you can follow along, especially looking at some of the graphs and the numbers that I prepared for you. All right, we're going to start by looking at the total subscribers as of October 1st, 2023. Now, these are not all of the top YouTube golf channels. I have to limit my data set, but these are some of the biggest ones. If there's any channels you want to see added to this video, let me know. I'd love to hear what channels you want to see me cover if it's not already in this discussion today. But looking at the total subscribers, right, we see Busted Jack at about 150K, Bryan Bros about 275K, Grant is almost at 450K, he's about to pass Micah, is at 457, Peter Finch 578K, Bob to Sports about 625,000, GM Golf is almost at 1 million subs, Good 1.36 million, and Rick Shiels 2.7 million. That's double the second biggest channel, that's double Good. Rick Shiels is just a beast. All right. Moving to the next slide, monthly views in September, right? So this is the same order. This slide is ordered by number of subscribers, right? Not the most video views. So what we see here is that Rick Shiels has the most subscribers, but last month in September, Good received the most video views of any YouTube golf channel at 13.2 million. And then we also see Bob to Sports is doing great, 6.9 million video views last month. And then lastly, right, Grant Horvat is standout, 4.4 million video views last month. He is outperforming a lot of channels around the same size as him. Grant Horvat, in terms of the video views on his channel, he's performing at about a channel that should have, I'd say, about 750,000 subscribers. So he is outperforming his subscriber count in terms of video views. All right, next slide, subscribers gained last month. And I'm not going to go through every single one, but you can see here on the graph, the most subscribers gained last month of any YouTube golf channel was Garrett Clark, GM Golf, bringing in 38,000 subscribers. That's more than Good, which is super impressive. That's more than Rick Shiels. It's more than Bob Does Sports. Very strong performance from Garrett. And I think partly that's because he asked his followers to subscribe and put out a lot of good videos, a lot of big collabs with Corinna, Paige Spiranak, and others, and he's closing in on 1 million subscribers. So I think he's making a heavy emphasis on subscribing to his channel, and you see that in the results. And then we see Grant, right? Grant had 20,000 subscribers gained last month. This video today, I'm going to cover the tier 1 YouTube golf channels. And so I've decided to group the YouTube golf channels, some of the biggest, right? Not all of them, there's a lot of other channels, but Tier 1 and Tier 2. Tier 1 is Rick Shiels, Good, GM Golf, and Bob Does Sports. Tier 2 is Peter Finch, Micah Morris, Grant Horvat, Bryan Bros, and Busted Jack. So for today's discussion, we're really going to look at the Tier 1 channels. I'm going to put a separate video out breaking down Tier 2, and we're going to get more into Grant's performance in that video. Okay, so we have some numbers to run through. I hope you're ready. I hope you got a cup of coffee. I hope that you are alert and awake because there's a lot of numbers, a lot of statistics coming your way. The source for all of this data is a website called Social Blade. They produce a lot of very good analytics, and I pulled together that information, and then I made these bar charts from scratch. So I made these myself. I calculated the percentage growth myself. I spent a lot of time working on this video because I want you to kind of view this channel as your go-to place for YouTube golf. And that's going to require more than me just taking screenshots of website information. I want to, produce some independent analysis here and take it a step further. So I hope you find this informational. I hope it's useful. If you do, if you could give a boost to that thumbs up button, that would tell YouTube you like this content and allow me to make more videos like this. All right, I'm not going to run through the numbers of every channel and every month. I actually recorded this already. It was over 30 minutes long. And my goal is to get you in here and out of here as soon as possible. And I thought maybe that was too long. So I'm not going to break down every single number, but you can look at the bar chart here and you can look at the y-axis is video views. So that'll give you some indication of the number. And again, the left bar is the dark gray bar is August of 2023. The right side is the baby blue, that's September. So we're comparing each channel against itself within the last 2 months. And you see, Rick Shiels video views, slight decrease of 4%. Good dropped by 23%. GM Golf dropped by 16%, and Bob Does Sports stayed even, no change this last month. And I don't think there's any huge conclusions here on this slide in terms of the video views, because September was a very good month. August was a very strong month for channels like Rick Shiels and Good. And so a slight dip in September is not anything that's alarming. I think that's kind of natural and normal. And, Bob Does Sports is humming along. They're growing. And so they were able to kind of avoid dipping by staying consistent and staying even there. And then also, if you look at this monthly video views, right, the height of the bars matters. And so Good is the top performer. And we talked about that earlier. But yeah, you can just tell relative to, view count. Over 15 million views in August, Good, and then 13.2, I believe, in September. So Good is humming along as, even though they're not the largest channel by subscribers, they are the largest channel right now in terms of video views, and that is significant. Okay, now we're going to look at last year versus this year, and I think that will make the title of this video make more sense. So again, the left bar here is September of last year, and then the right bar, the baby blue, is September of this year. So we're comparing last year versus this year in terms of video views per channel. Rick Shiels, slight decrease, 14%. Good decrease of 9%. GM Golf, decrease of 38%. And then Bob Does Sports, 86% increase. So when you look at this, right, it's similar to the last slide. In terms of September of last year, Rick Shiels, Good, great months. And so slight dip is maybe normal, natural. And I'd have to go back and look at their channels. But I believe last summer, that was when Good went over to collaborate with Rick Shiels for the first time. And so there was a lot of buzz. That was the first crossover between those two channels. And I think the numbers, might have been all-time records. And so it's difficult this year to compete with all-time highs last year. So a slight dip is no problemo for those channels, because the first time that you're going to cross-pollinate your audiences, I think you're going to see a maximum effect. And then this year, I know Good went back over to the UK to collaborate with Rick Shiels again, but there was less buzz because that had been done before. And so I think that first time, that was just all-time peak in terms of excitement. GM Golf definitely took a dip in video views. But last year on GM Golf's channel in the summer, again, there might have been some collabs with Rick Shiels and some special circumstances that, pushed GM Golf to have nearly 10 million views last September. Bob Does Sports, 86% increase between 2022 and 2023. And one theme that you'll see, in this video and my next one is that how long a channel has been around matters. So for the GM Golfs, for the Rick Shiels, those channels have been around for a long time. So it's natural to see peaks and valleys, right? And there's going to be volatility. For a channel like Bob Does Sports is on the come up, right? And in my next video, you'll see, I'll talk about Busted Jack. They're in a similar standpoint where these channels are breaking into kind of the golf YouTube ecosystem, and they're steadily ascending. Is that the right word? Yeah, they're rising. But after they've been around for several years, it's going to be difficult for them to continue to sustain this level of growth. But for now, Bob Does Sports is growing and it's humming. But I think that needs to be kind of considered when you compare it against some of the other channels that have been around longer. I think that matters. All right. Now we're moving to subscribers gained. Rick Shiels, no change, 30,000 gained in August versus September, right? This is month-to-month comparison the last 2 months. Good 40% decrease. GM Golf, 31% increase, right? You saw Garrett in some of his recent videos really asking viewers, hey, please consider subscribing. We're trying to hit 1 million subscribers by the end of the year, and they're on track at about 980,000, but great month from GM Golf. Bob Does Sports, 3% decrease, right? About 35,000 to 34,000 subscribers. So Bob Does Sports is doing very, very well. And, there's a dip in Good. What was that from between August and September? I don't exactly know, but that is definitely a significant decrease. And I'd have to go back and look at, their August to see what exactly happened there. But, I think that they're still sustaining very solid and healthy growth at 30,000 subs. Let's move to the next slide. And I think this is the last slide of this video, which is comparing last year versus this year. Okay, so last year, subscribers gained in September versus this year, September. Rick Shiels, 25% decrease in subscribers gained. Good, 59% decrease. GM Golf, 3% increase. And Bob Does Sports, 62% increase. So starting with Bob Does Sports, right, similar to the monthly video views, Bob Does Sports is getting bigger and bigger. So it's natural and potentially even expected for us to see large growth this year compared to last year, because Bob Does Sports is breaking into kind of the YouTube golf, mainstay. They're becoming a big channel with all their big time collabs with NFL players, and with them collaborating with Rick Shiels recently, they're becoming known and very well known. Now, in a year or two, it's going to be natural to see us, if we're looking at this data, to see Bob Does Sports plateau or even decline, because right now they are ascending very, very quickly. And then once everybody knows about Bob Does Sports, it's going to be difficult for them to continue their growth within that golf space. Now, good. The title of this video, 59% decrease in subscribers from last year to this year. Let's just start there. 74,000 subscribers gained in September of 2022 is bananas, right? That could be their highest. That could be their all-time high. So what's that from? Well, that's potentially when their collab with Rick Shiels for the first time happened. And I think in August of 2022, Good had an all-time high, I take that back, of about 157,000 subscribers gained. And then the next month, September, they dropped down to 74,000, but that's still huge, right? So partly that is from the collab with Rick Shiels last year. But it does beg a larger question, which is, has Good dropped off since losing Micah and Grant? And there's a lot of chatter on the internet. There's a lot of keyboard warriors that have opinions. And some people have said, Good, since losing Micah and Grant and since signing with Callaway, people stopped watching, right? The dynamic that they used to have with their OG crew, Micah, Grant, Matt, Stephen, Bubby, Garrett, that was peak Good. And now it's just not the same. So is there truth to that? Well, there's definitely a dip from last year to this year. I think, as I've mentioned, some of that is due to the Rick Shiels. The first collab with Rick Shiels kind of inflated their numbers. But I do think there is a demographic of good viewers that initially tuned in. And since all the changes to their cast, to their crew, to their content, and maybe they're not tuning in to Good as much as they used to. With that being said, I think Good has picked up a lot of new followers from the signing with Callaway. Callaway social media has posted Good many times. Callaway has been heavily involved with the Good brand, with their products, with their drops. So I think that those things are offsetting themselves. I think that there was a large demographic of good viewers who maybe haven't stopped tuning into the content post Grant and Micah leaving. But I think the signing with Callaway has actually brought in a lot of viewers to Good, and I think that they are adding in new viewers who are resonating with some of the new members of Good. Luke Kwan, I think, has to be talked about. Luke Kwan brings a level of golf that Good did not have back when they had Grant and Micah. So there's this former professional golfer on Good who's attracting and bringing in people like Brad Dalke, right? Oklahoma teammate Brad Dalke. So they're bringing in this healthy stable of very good, professional quality, professional level golfers. Ben Haddon, Brad Dalke, Luke Kwan, and then they've also added AJ Pujols into the fold. So I think Good has responded very well since losing Grant and Micah. Easily, that could have caused a massive decline in their brand, in their following, but I think that they have steadied the ship. I think Luke Kwan has, risen. That sounds religious. I did not mean to say Luke Kwan has risen. Oh boy, that's a bad statement. I take that back. Luke Kwan has emerged as a fan favorite. I think that's fair to say. His personality, his golf game, what he brings to Good, he has emerged. And that's been interesting to see, because initially when Luke came on, there were reservations and people were saying it's not the same. You've lost Micah, you've lost Grant, Luke's okay. But the longer that Luke has stayed with Good, the more fans have gotten comfortable with him, the more his personality has started to shine through. He's becoming a fan favorite, and I think that has helped tremendously. And now they're bringing in other golfers, like I mentioned, high quality golfers. So I think that Good has weathered this storm and added a nice healthy roster of people to their crew. And it's natural. If you lose big characters to a brand, a group brand, it's natural to have some fall off. It's natural. You're going to have upset fans who tuned in only because Grant was there. That's going to happen. But I think that they've rallied. I think the Callaway deal has made a lot of sense, and they're continuing to grow at a healthy clip. So that is going to wrap up this video. I hope you found it interesting. I hope that the data, I hope that I presented it well. I hope it was easy to follow. If you have any feedback on how this video could, how I could make this video better in the future, maybe this is something that I'll do every month. If you enjoy it, let me know. I'm always trying to get better. I'm trying to put out the best content possible. So let me know how I could improve this video. But if you've watched now to the end of the video, I super appreciate you. Like, I really, really do. If you could take a second and give a boost to the thumbs up button, that would go a long way in telling YouTube that you enjoyed this video. And then next year, I'll be hosting a golf tournament. If you'd like to be notified of details when they become available, there's a link down in the description. Click the link, drop your email, and you'll receive info on next year's golf tournament that I'll be hosting. I'm Dougie, this is the Golf Clan. Thanks for tuning into this video. Stay tuned for the next video where I will be breaking down the Tier 2 YouTube channels. That's Peter Finch, Micah Morris, Grant Horvat, Bryan Bros, Bustajack, and performing and sharing similar analysis from September. So stay tuned for Tier 2. This is Tier 1. I hope you found this video enjoyable. I'll see you in the next video.